Hi, let us see a small demo on how to make a GET request as well as a POST request. As a part of the earlier lecture, we created a sample Java class. Let me go ahead and commit it as a part of this specific branch. So let me get into the staging window, stage the file and commit this specific file. So automatically the HTTP method demo branch will get created in the remote repository as well. Let me go ahead and create a new branch. So what I'm going to do from this specific branch, I'm going to create a new branch within team as a part of switch to option, say new branch. So the new branch will be created based out of HTTP method demo. Let me name the branch name as HTTP method get post demo. Let me go ahead and make changes to this first servlet. Already I have the methods do get and do post. I have done the implementation for the get method. The same way, let me go ahead and make the change for the post method as well. So I'm going to set the response content type and write the content with the text. This is post method. Whenever get method getting invoked, this particular text will get printed as a part of the response. When a post method is getting invoked, this particular text content will be sent as a part of response. Now I'm going to create a small HTML file. Let me search for HTML. It will provide me the wizard to create a HTML file. Let me name this as getDemo.html. So it's going to ask for which HTML template to use. I'll use the default one. Say finish. Now within body, I'm going to create a form. Form is nothing but it's going to hold all the HTML elements and that will get submitted to this specific servlet, that is first servlet, using the method get whenever I'm using this specific submit method. The same way, let me go ahead and create another HTML file. I can copy paste the same HTML file or create a new one. Let me go ahead and copy paste and name this as postdemo.html. Within postdemo.html, let me change the method type as post and let me change the text as well. Also, let me change the title. For the other file also, let me change the title as get method demo. So I do have two HTML files depending on which HTML file I'm using it to submit this specific form. Accordingly, that particular method will get invoked. So I do have a get demo.html which will use the method get and post demo.html which will use the method post. And there are some additional differences between this get and post. Let's see and do the demo on how the elements will be handled and how the values will be passed between the client and the server. Let me go ahead and start this get demo.html run on server. So it's going to ask the server to get started as it is in the stopped state. This particular application will get deployed. Say finish. I can use external browser as well. I need to use the same port that is configured within the server. Now I have the get demo.html. Observe the URL very carefully. I'm going to submit this specific form. So I have got the response. This is get method from the first servlet. Let me go ahead and run the post demo.html run as server. So it's going to ask this particular HTML to run on the already running server. Let me go ahead and run it. I do have the post demo.html. I'm going to use the submit button to submit this specific form. And this time it's calling the post method as I do have within the servlet. So within the servlet, I do have this is get method and this is post method text. Now let me go ahead and add a small text element as a part of this specific HTML file. So I'm going to add a text input element. So I'm going to add a text input element with the name customer name. Let me stop the server. The same way, I'm going to add the text input element for the post HTML file as well. Now let me execute this get demo.html. I do have the input type to get the name. So within get demo.html, I do have the text what is your name and I'm getting the input type text with the name customer name. Let me go ahead and submit this particular form with a value Muthu for all for this particular text input element. So this is of type get method. Observe the URL. The value of this particular key will be passed as a part of the URL parameter if the method is of type get. Now let me go ahead and submit the post method from this specific HTML file. Let me go ahead and execute this specific HTML file post-demo.html. Run it as a part of the server. So it will get deployed into the already running server. Now I have the HTML post-demo.html where I do have the input text element and it's going to use the post method. I'm going to submit the form. The form will get submitted, but it's not going to use the URL parameter. The value will be passed as a part of the body content itself. So this is the major difference between get and post method. Get method is not secure. It is going to send the data as well as the value as key value pair as a part of URL. Post method will be sending it as a part of the body content. So in a quick summary, we do have the following differences between get and post method. Within get methods, the parameters will be sent as a part of the URL and so it will remain within the browser history, and within post it cannot be or it will not be saved as a part of browser history. And since it is getting added as a part of the URL, it can be bookmarked with the value, and post methods cannot be bookmarked. And it uses the URL encoding, and the post method will be using multi-part encoding, and so binary data can also be sent as a part of post method. And it's very easy to see the values that are getting submitted, and it's hidden from the URL, so the user cannot see what are all the values getting submitted. And get method can be used only for the ASCII values. Post method can be used for the binary content as well. Get method are relatively less secure than the post method, and it is restricted to only 2048 characters because the URL doesn't allow more than 2048 characters as per the standard. But for the post method, there are no restrictions, and get method can be cached, but post method cannot be cached. So in a high level, we have seen how to implement the get method and post method and invoke the corresponding method, and we have seen the behavior of get method and post method. So I'm going to commit the change that we have made as a part of this specific demo and push it into the repository. Let me go ahead and get into the git staging, add the changes and make the commit message commit and push. The reason I'm going to use different branches for different demo at any point of time, whenever I wanted to get back to the earlier code, I can get into the team and select the specific branch so that automatically the code will get back to the earlier state where it was. So in a quick summary, we have seen the difference between get method and post method and did a demo on how the do get method and do post method of the servlet will get invoked.